If you're sitting in a quiet house right now, staring at a phone that ain't ringing, you need to listen very carefully. My name is Arthur Hale. I am 95 years old, and for a long time, I was making a complete fool of myself. I spent my 70s and most of my 80s chasing something that didn't want to be caught. My own children, calling them, texting them, waiting every Sunday afternoon like it was some kind of appointment with hope. Just sitting there, staring at that phone, thinking maybe today my son will remember I exist. I wasn't living, I was waiting. And that kind of waiting, it drains the life right out of a man. If you walk outside right now and a thunderstorm breaks over your head, do you stand there in the mud, yelling at the sky? Do you scream at the clouds to stop raining because you've got plans? No, you don't. Because you understand something simple: you can't control the weather. So you go inside, you close the door, you let it rain. But when it comes to our grown children, we forget that truth. We stand out there in the storm, soaked, freezing, begging the sky to change. Here's the truth most parents refuse to accept. Your children are the weather now. When they were young, you were the roof. You protected them, guided them, shaped them. You were everything. But then time moved. They grew up. They built lives of their own. And somewhere along the way, stopped being something you control. Stopped became something you experience. Like the weather, unpredictable, distant, sometimes warm, sometimes cold. And that's where I made my biggest mistake. I thought I could force the sun back out. I thought if I just called one more time, if I reminded them of everything I did for them, if I pushed a little harder, they would come back the way they used to. But all I was doing was standing in a storm, shouting at clouds that couldn't hear me. And every time my son gave me a short reply, every time my daughter didn't call back, it hit me like a punch to the chest, because I was expecting sunshine in the middle of their hurricane. Here's the bitter truth, and it doesn't go down easy. My chasing was pushing them further away. Every time my son came over, I didn't greet him with peace. I greeted him with expectation, with silent pressure, with that look that said, "You owe me your time." And nobody wants to walk into a house like that. A house that feels like a debt collector. A house that turns love into obligation. That ain't love. That's emotional weight. And sooner or later, people run from weight. The day everything changed for me was the day I finally got tired. Not physically, spiritually. I remember it clearly. I was sitting at the kitchen table, phone in my hand, waiting again. Always waiting. And something inside me just said, put it down. So I did. I turned that phone face down. And for the first time in years, I stopped chasing. I was terrified. I thought, if I don't hold this family together, it's all going to fall apart. But something unexpected happened. The silence didn't kill me. At first, it felt heavy, like a house with no heartbeat. But slowly, that silence started changing. It stopped sounding like loneliness and started sounding like peace. For the first time in decades, and my life felt like it belonged to me again. I stopped worrying about my son's mistakes. Let it rain. I stopped losing sleep over my daughter's choices. Let it rain. I stopped trying to fix things that were never mine to fix. Let it rain. Because here's what I finally understood at 95 years old. You cannot force a grown person to love you the way you want. You cannot pull people closer by grabbing tighter. You don't grow a plant by yanking on it. You destroy it. Letting go is not giving up on your children. I still love mine. I pray for them every morning. I think about them more than they'll ever know, but I stopped trying to control them. I stopped making my happiness their responsibility, and that changed everything. Not them. Me. Listen carefully. You are in the final chapter of your life. This is the quiet season, the winter, and you do not have enough time left to spend it fighting storms you can't win. So ask yourself this. Do you want to spend your last years angry, bitter, staring at a screen, waiting for a call that may never come? Or do you want peace? Put the phone down. Stop calling just to check if they still care. Stop begging for attention that should come freely. Let the storm pass. Let the sky be what it is. Make your own warmth. Drink your coffee while it's still hot. Sit with your thoughts. Open your heart to something bigger than control. And if they come back one day, they'll find a door that's open, not a man standing in the rain screaming at the sky. Let it rain.